Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I decided to start an outdoor project in the 100+ degree weather, which might not have been the best idea, but that's what we're doing. So I'm going to be working out here in my backyard, specifically on this back deck. I showed you guys not too long ago building this gazebo, and it's been so nice adding this shade to this space. But one thing that's definitely been neglected is this deck. So before I even get started doing anything, assessing how it looks, its condition, I'm moving all of this furniture off and out of the way so we can see how everything looks and exactly what we need to do.
So this is what I've been ignoring for the last couple of years. I covered it with that big deck box so it wouldn't be dangerous with my kids and everything. Instead of replacing these entire boards, because they run under this structure right here, which is just opening a whole other can of worms, I'm going to cut them like right here, and then I will replace these end pieces. That'll be a whole lot easier. We need to get rid of all of this rot and just make sure that it's structurally sound.
I used my skill saw to cut through most of the board, but because I wasn't cutting through multiple boards, I needed to use this oscillating tool to kind of cut through the corners, and then the boards easily came out. When boards come out too easily, it's usually a pretty good sign that they are rotten, not in good shape, and need to be replaced. These specifically get wet a pretty good bit, so that didn't surprise me at all that they needed to be replaced. So those were definitely the first ones that I wanted to do. With the new boards in place, it was time to add back the step that goes up to this upper level of our deck.
Because I'm always doing home projects, I need clothes that are going to be not only cute, but more importantly, comfortable. And I'm excited to be partnering with Halara because they believe that clothing should support your movement and comfort, not restrict it, letting you move freely through every part of your day. Amen. So I picked out some pieces for them, so let's do a try on and I'll tell you guys what I think. These are the SoftlyZero yoga shorts, and these might be the most comfortable shorts I've ever owned. They have built-in shorts so they don't ride up. It comes with a wide waistband and it's a little hidden pocket here in the back. They have a million different colors and the sizes from extra small to 4X. And they come in different lengths. I ordered the 7-inch. And I paired the shorts with this casual tank top that's got 4-way stretch. You're getting top quality for a really good price. Next are these quick drying tapered golf pants. They have a moisture wicking fabric that has 4-way stretch, so they're super comfortable, but it's quality, so you don't have to worry about it being see-through. Next are these high-waisted linen feel pants, and these are made with high quality comfortable fabric. I love this wide waistband that's super flattering, and Halara clothes are so versatile. I can wear this to work or even running errands. And this is the Embroidery Eyelet resort dress, and yes, it does have pockets. The top of this dress is so stretchy and comfortable and not see-through at all. It's lined. It's just very flattering. I also got some pieces for my daughter. These are the asymmetrical wide leg jeans. She says they're so comfortable. The fabric is so soft and this asymmetrical waist is really cute. She also got these rolled hem denim shorts, and it's the same stretchy material that makes them so comfortable and cute on her. So no matter your style, your age, your life lifestyle, there's something for everyone at Halara. Let me know down in the comments which piece was your favorite, and if you want to check Halara out, you can do so by clicking the link down in the description, and make sure you use code Kelsey36 to get 15% off full priced items.
Moving on to this back corner of the deck that I showed you guys earlier that had some rot. So this is where things started to not go to plan. I was prepared to cut out these boards and just replace them really quickly, move on to the next part of the project. And that's when I discovered that the joists underneath were in not great shape and we're definitely going to have to pivot. Okay, things have really escalated back here. So when I went to take off some of these boards that were rotten just to replace them, they have some rot right here, which is fine. I can just sister these joists, meaning adding another board next to it. It's going to give it that structural support. What I had to address was this outside framing here. It had 3 2x6s and the outer 2 were like completely rotten over there. So this is the last one. So I'm gonna have to completely replace those and make this structurally sound before I can go back in with the deck boards, because I can't leave it like that. Like it's just gonna get worse and eventually this entire side of the deck would collapse. Because this joist only had some rot toward the middle, it definitely felt strong enough that I was able to add another 2x6 and that it was going to be completely solid without having to replace it. And the last thing I did this day was rip out this entire piece of deck board. That the entire piece was pretty much bad, and I was really tired after this, so I called it a day. So I don't know what I was thinking last night. I think I was just tired. This beam here, like this needs to be replaced. I put another board next to it, but that's not gonna be good enough. This backboard in between there is just like, it's not good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it, and then we won't have to worry about it, hopefully for a long time. Okay, that's so much better. This is strong now, not gonna have to worry about that rotting for a long time, but I did find some more pieces that I want to replace. These here on the end, they're just a little bit rotten, so I'm just gonna cut them out right here, and then finally after that I think we can start building this deck back. There wasn't any rot on the end of this joist, but I had some 2x6 left over, so I'm just attaching a little bit of that to the joist so the new deck boards will have something to easily screw into. And I gotta say, it feels a lot better to be building back than it is to be tearing it out and to be worried about what I'm going to find next. Building it back, knowing that it's going to be solid, I don't have to worry about anybody going through it, knowing that it's done right. That's definitely one thing that I really appreciate about DIY. And in case you wonder what I'm doing here with all these random boards hanging off the edge, I didn't feel like dealing with all of the cuts and the angles, so I'm just adding all of these pieces that hang off the side, screwing them down into place, and then taking my circular saw and trimming them pretty much all at once so I get a nice, clean, even cut. And then adding in these last few pieces, and the top of this deck is secure. It still needed this side trim piece, which again was kind of rotten and broke when I took it off, but now it's completely new and replaced.
Okay, the deck is now structurally sound, repaired, and we need to get to work on building back the railings. I'm thinking about removing this section right here because it's behind the gazebo. It looks kind of strange that it only goes like a little over half of the way. So city code where I live is if your deck is 30 inches or above, then you have to have a railing. This is not 30 inches, so we're good to go that way. So I think maybe I'll just put it around the edge here and that'll be it. Wait a minute. I'm thinking I kind of like this wide open, that maybe I don't even need to put a rail back here because it's less than 30 inches for sure. And I kind of like how it looks. It opens everything up. I'm thinking I might leave it like this, except I need to remove this last post, but I'm really liking this. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like this. Now, again, these have to be up there for code, but I like how open it is. Adding this gazebo, like, really kind of gave the space like structure. It grounds it. The furniture doesn't feel like it's floating. Well, right now it feels shoved together, but you know what I mean. So I really like how open it is. It also will be nice for when I'm cleaning the pool. I can just get down right there instead of going all the way around this way or that way. Speaking of cleaning the pool, definitely need to take care of that. But the last thing that we need to do is right here, this railing. This one probably takes the most abuse because my kids get out of the pool, run around right here, get on the trampoline, jump the trampoline into the pool. It just needs some work. So this post right here has some rot on it. It just needs to be replaced. I think the railing is still good, but it's gonna make it a lot stronger because we definitely need one there. Okay, the railings are all repaired and good to go. Now the new wood like this and over there, because it is pressure treated, it is kind of wet. So you need to let that dry out a little bit before you paint over it, which I don't think will take long in this Texas heat, but we're gonna wait until we paint because I need to do some stuff anyway, like pressure washing this deck just to get all of the loose paint or anything up, so the new paint will go on much smoother and more importantly it will last. So before I pass out from heat exhaustion, this is where we're going to stop for today's video. Again, DIY is just, you never know what you're gonna get. What started off as replacing a couple of boards turned into a whole replacement of that entire corner basically, but that's how it goes. Had to pivot, and I'm glad. I feel better that it's structurally sound. I don't have to worry about it in the future, and also it led to something good. I liked opening up this railing. Again, let me know down in the comments, do you think that was the right idea? And I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.